Now we are going to talk about the process of translation, otherwise known as protein synthesis. The mRNA that was formed, it had a specific sequence according to which the amino acids had to be arranged. We know that the gene codes for a polypeptide. In that polypeptide, the amino acids have to be arranged according to a specific sequence, and that specific sequence, the information about that sequence lies on mRNA. That has to be translated into amino acids, and what we are going to see in this lesson is what are the key players in this process of protein synthesis. So, we deal with three key players who play an important role in protein synthesis, the machinery that is involved. Of course, messenger RNA has arrived with the information that is about the sequence of amino acids that are to be present in the polypeptide. The first key player happens to be the ribosomes. Okay. The second one is tRNA. So, we have the ribosomes, we have the tRNA, and the most important certainly is the messenger RNA. Apart from this, this tRNA works hand in hand with amino acids. So, we are going to talk about these three one by one, and then we are done with understanding what are the key players in this particular thing. You know, ribosomes are non-membrane bound organelles present in both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, and what they are nothing but they are ribonucleic protein particles. Alright. There is one point of difference between ribosomes which are present in prokaryotes and one which are present in eukaryotes. As you know, the ribosomes are formed by association of two subunits, larger subunit and smaller subunit. According to the sedimentation coefficient, these are 70S ribosomes and these are 80S ribosomes. Please pay attention, we are talking about ribosomes over here. The larger subunit is 50S while the smaller happens to be 30S. Here the larger is 60S while the smaller is 40S. As I told you in the previous class 11th, that this S does not stand for their weight or something, it is the sedimentation coefficient which is different for each subunit. There is no addition sort of thing that you have to do, because 60 plus 40 does not in any case amount to 80. Okay. So, this is subunits, so we do not add them in particular, but yeah, this is what lies. Now, in the case of 50S subunit in the prokaryotic ribosomes, you have 23S, that is S is the sedimentation coefficient, rRNA. Alright, and apart from this you have 5S ribosomal RNA, and in the 30S unit you have 16S ribosomal RNA. Alright, apart from this, there are, as I told you, it is ribonucleic protein thing. There are proteins also which are present. In the case of 50S subunit, there are 32 proteins which are present. And in the case of smaller subunit, there are 21 proteins which are present in the prokaryotic ribosomes smaller subunit. So, these are the points of differences between two subunits, what the subunits are composed of and which RNA is present in what. This is for prokaryotes. Talking about eukaryotes, they have 60S and 40S, of course. They have, in the 60S you have 28 sedimentation coefficient ribosomal RNA. Apart from that, you have 5S ribosomal RNA, you have 5.8S ribosomal RNA. So, these are the types of RNAs which are present. In the case of 40S, that is smaller subunit, you have 18S ribosomal RNA. And what is the number of proteins which are present? Over here we have as much as 50 proteins in the larger subunit, and over here we have 33 proteins which are present. So these points are to be learnt by heart. In the case of ribosomes, the difference of prokaryotic and eukaryotic ribosomes, because we did not discuss it in terms of ribosomal RNA when we were studying it in class 11th. So here we have discussed, the points of differences are here. I am going to repeat it. 70S and 80S are prokaryotic and eukaryotic ribosomes respectively. The 70S has a 50S larger subunit and 30S smaller subunit. Over here I have written the composition of each subunit. While 50S has 23S ribosomal RNA and 5S ribosomal RNA, 30 has only 16S ribosomal RNA. It has 32 proteins, the other one has only 21 proteins. Talking about proteins in eukaryotes, while the larger has 50 proteins, the smaller has only 33 proteins, and these are the number of ribosomal RNAs that it is having, while the smaller subunit is having only 18S ribosomal RNA. So with this we are done about ribosomes. Next what we talk about is tRNA, and then we are done with the lesson. Why? Because we have discussed a lot about messenger RNA, ranging from how it is formed to what happens to it in eukaryotes, in prokaryotes. So we are going to talk about tRNA, otherwise known as transfer RNA. What it transfers? It is an adapter molecule, you have to remember. Now what is an adapter molecule? Adapter molecule would be the one which will take up the information from messenger RNA and bring the amino acid according to that. I'm sorry if you haven't heard it. It would bring the amino acid according to the coding that is present on messenger RNA. So it is an adapter molecule. Okay. Now this adapter molecule is smallest of all the RNAs. This you have to remember. This is smallest in size. And in 1965, R.W. Hawley, a scientist, he gave us the clover leaf structure of tRNA. Now what is this clover leaf structure? It is two-dimensional representation of what tRNA is in 3 dimensions. Now this is an L-shaped structure. What do we have in this structure is that tRNA has a folded structure. Now folded structure is such that there is formation of hydrogen bonds. Okay. Hydrogen bonds between what? Supposedly this is one strand of tRNA. This is the other strand. It starts from here. This is the 3' end. It starts from here. It takes a turn. It forms a loop over here. Then it comes downward. Then it takes another loop if represented on 2D. Means two-dimensional representation. Then it takes a turn, then it forms it like this, and we have the structure of tRNA. This is T psi U loop, this is D loop, and this is the anticodon loop. Important point, the anticodon loop has a triplet sequence which is complementary to mRNA. We'll talk about it later on, but you have to remember this anticodon loop has a triplet sequence which is complementary to mRNA, and according to this sequence, which would be complementary to a given mRNA sequence, there would be association or addition of amino acid at the 3' end. So the 3' end of tRNA is exposed, and over there comes and joins amino acid according to the anticodon loop, keeping in mind what it would be complementary to on mRNA. So the codon reference that we had for code dictionary that we studied, that would be according to mRNA. It would be totally according to mRNA, but the reading would be done in context with anticodon loop which is present on tRNA, and hence this tRNA is an adapter molecule. So we are done with the 2 key players. Now once we have discussed what the key players would be, next lesson is what the actual game of translation is all about.